Hello.
Hello.
No, we're not there yet.
We're not there. Oh.
Here we are.
Oh. It's a bad day all round, isn't it, already? And if you have a COVID puppy, we're going to learn from Vijay Joshi, about future leader dogs.
And we'll be talking with Christina Concord about what Sarah is doing tomorrow with Women of Influence.
Ooh,
yes, and we have some fabulous magic from the legendary Mr. George Tait.
In the meantime, this is Keith Fields.
And this is Lady Sarah.
And thank you for joining us for
a cup of tea. We're here, and I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but magic Zoom shows are now a thing. And the biggest one that we've come across is from the Magic Castle in Hollywood.
Yes, every Saturday night, magicians from around the world perform. And it's quite exciting on a virtual show.
Yes, and last week it was our turn. In fact, we have a couple of pictures, I think, of us doing it. Slightly blurry there because they were just a screen grab, performing in front of many, many people. In fact, all we could see were lots of little screens.
That's very true. There were actually about 270 screens watching us, and it was very late at night for us, 3 hours behind for them, and great fun though, and we got them all wiggling their fingers, and here's one of those screen grabs again.
Yes, it was all very silly and it was a lot of fun, so check out future shows at themagiccastle.com. Did I get that the right one?
You did. The Magic Castle,
magiccastle.com. Go there. And we've been training hard all week, and by training hard I don't mean training hard, I mean dog training hard.
No, #FLD, that's Future Leader Dog Magic, has learnt how to avoid distractions. So last week we did the smell test.
And he passed because he smells.
No. He had to walk between cones that were really smelly and lots of smelly things to distract him. And let's see how he did on that walk. Here we go with the smelly test. The idea is to walk through there and not sniff anything.
All right, got this. Let's go.
Walk on. Walk on. Magic. Lead it. Walk on. Yes. Walk on. Come on, Magic. Lead it. Yes. Walk on.
So it's reinforced. Quick. Yep, he was being real good. You missed a good opportunity there. Yep, now again. Yep. And now again. Yep.
As you could hear, I think Magic passed, but I feel I probably failed. So we'll have more on that a little bit later on. We also have a return visit from Christina Concord from Antina Promotions.
And we'll be talking about what I'm doing tomorrow morning.
Because what I'm doing tomorrow morning is obviously not very interesting.
What are you doing tomorrow morning?
Well, you're obviously busy, so I'm having a lie-in.
No, you're walking Future Leader Dog Magic. That's what you're doing tomorrow morning.
No rest for the wicked.
Our first guest is the woman who oversees Future Leader Dog Magic and his training.
Well, actually, if we're honest, she spends more time training us than actually training the dog, I think.
That's true. Good dogs don't just happen. They need training, or they need trained owners.
Yeah, absolutely. So please welcome our puppy trainer, the dog whisperer. She is Vijay Joshi.
Yay!
Vijay, hello.
Hi, thank you for having me, Keith and Lady Sarah.
Thank
it's
you.
a pleasure.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. Are you surrounded by dogs at the moment? Where are you?
One dog. I'm at work right now. It's 2:04 right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I work until about 2:30, so I'm at work right now at Leader Dogs.
Perfect. But you have several dogs at home, don't you? How many dogs have you got at home?
I've got 4, and they're all very large and in charge.
Oh, no, that you're not meant to say that. You're our idol. You're our mentor when it comes to it, and we're having our own struggles to convince Magic that we're in charge.
Well, Magic's an angel. You can't be struggling.
He's an angel.
Yes, he's an angel in a strange form as far as I'm concerned. Listen, before we get on to talking about leader dogs, which I know are absolutely amazing and fascinating, we do have to play our game, Say Something in British, which means you have to select a British word for us. So all you have to do at the moment is say stop.
Stop.
Oh, right at the bottom there. Okay. Today's word is gubbins. Gubbins. There we go. You can see it in front of you. Do you have any idea what the British word gubbins means?
Gumbo?
Gumbo.
Gumbo. Oh, it does sound like it could be a meal, doesn't it?
No. Good try.
I like the way you think. I like that.
Positive reinforcement. Good try.
Good try. Well done. And gumbo is one of my favourite meals, actually. So that's very astute of you. You see, she's a dog owner whisperer. That's what this woman is.
Vijay, let's jump straight into it. Tell us, how did you get involved with leader dogs? Why leader dogs?
Well, you know, it's an adventure. I went on a balloon ride, a hot air balloon ride, and the pilot was a puppy raiser. And we started to talk, and I asked him, I said, how do you give those puppies up? And he said, you know, Vijay, when you see what a difference it makes, you really don't think about it anymore. And it really made me think. And I put my application in, became a puppy raiser, and I haven't stopped since. It's been a wonderful journey. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And I think that question about how do you give them up is probably the first question, the question that comes up first more than any other. Yeah. And as you say, when you realise how incredible these dogs are, and what they do for a partially sighted or a blind person, it really is amazing, isn't it?
But Vijay, you don't just have puppy raisers like us, do you? You have puppies in prisons as well, and some of the prisoners raise them. Is that the correct term?
Yeah, tell us. When we first saw it, said you were responsible for the leader dogs in prison. We wondered what these poor leader dogs had done. And we thought training was all about kindness. But tell us about this leader dogs in prison program.
So at Leader Dogs, we have puppies with outside families, just like you and Lady Sarah, Keith. And we also have our puppies in correctional facilities in the United States. We have about 12 correctional facilities, and our raisers are in the correctional facilities. So our puppies get to be prison puppies.
Right.
I was hesitating on that one because I knew you could take it and run with it. We do have puppies in correctional facilities as well as on university campuses. And the reason we have this is for diversification. Our raisers are different and our clients are different. So when we have all this variety, it gives us a bigger pool to select from for our clients. And it's a win-win situation when you go into correctional facilities with these puppies. They just bring a whole new atmosphere for the prisons. And then they bring our clients joy too, because they have an obedient dog. That's all they do is obedience.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Amazing. Now, Vijay, I have to bring you back to that video, the smelly video. How did Keith do? What did you think? Did he do okay?
I think Keith is amazing. I think he listens to instructions extremely well. And then the biggest part is he applies it. But every now and then, because he is so intelligent and awesome in his training, he tunes us out.
Are we talking about the dog now, or Keith?
I'm not sure.
And in puppy class, we are focusing on the raisers because the dogs really do know how to walk and sit on their own. It's just us trying to figure out how to tell them what we want.
Yeah.
And the one overarching statement that we hear from you is about rewarding good behavior and ignoring bad behavior. And I know this is obviously effective because every time I bring Sarah a cup of tea now, she gives me a kibble, a little bit of dog food, and it's, she's got me running around like crazy.
Yeah, so you're applying it to each other. How wonderful.
It really works.
It's really interesting though, the whole training, because the next video you're going to see is training on stairs, and I didn't realize stairs would be a big issue, but I know that there are many friends of mine who they can't get their dogs up the stairs or down the stairs. And we learned a lot from that. Let's
show the video and then Vijay can tell you how you did, which is
well, let's face it, maybe you would feel a bit nervous going up these stairs for the first time.
It's scary, isn't it? The different situations.
You know, I think Lady Sarah, you did amazing. And the reason I say that is not just because I love you to death, but it's because you stayed to pace with a puppy. You did not go too far ahead. You let your puppy explore little magic, got to explore. Those stairs were kind of very difficult. They're on the more higher end. So you kept pace. You didn't yank on his leash. You just made sure that you and him both didn't fall. You were firm and consistent.
It wasn't a very flattering shot of my bottom, though.
Yes, I'm sorry about that, but I kind of couldn't get round in front of you in time. But I was at the wrong angle.
Vijay, many people have taken on dogs at this time. I've heard this in the UK and over here as well.
Yes, the dreaded COVID puppy.
People thought, let's get a puppy during this time. You must have words of wisdom or thoughts. People are struggling with these little fellas.
Yeah, I think people fail to realize you just need a little bit of patience for the puppy. Grab a cup of tea, and you can train in your own family room, in your own home. You don't need a whole big world. You just have to be consistent with them. And then take them out in your neighborhood if you can. And if you can't, you have to be consistent. Training is training regardless of where you do it. So patience, consistency, and a lot of love.
Don't forget the love.
Yes, we like the love. And I think that one of the biggest things I've learned is it doesn't happen overnight. It's actually, you said the consistency has to go over weeks and months, and they do fall into line, and they are incredibly rewarding creatures, and they're great to have around, aren't they?
They truly are. Truly are. Vijay, we need to keep you around because we're going to have some magic later, obviously, from George Tait. But we'll also need a few tips on barking. You know, we'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that after the show, the barking thing.
Thank you so
Thanks so much, and thanks so much for all the fabulous work you do with leader dogs. We'll see you in a few moments.
Thank you.
Cheerio. Bye for now.
Wow, we've got so much to learn, babe.
Yes, it's going to take us a while. It's going to take us a while.
Now, for those of you who watch regularly, we talk about the Troy Chamber of Commerce. We talk about chambers of commerce all the time. And our local chamber has great staff, really, truly great staff. But they also have a wealth of volunteers to help with their events.
They have so many different events on. They do golf days, restaurant week, leadership and training events. But I think probably, well, every town has one. And the best way to get the most out of your local chamber of commerce is to get involved.
That's true. And I work with our next guest in the Women's Business Forum. And we have a rather special event coming up tomorrow.
So let's find out what it's all about. Please welcome back Christina Concord. Yay! Christina!
Hello.
You have a very special award, I suppose, for being one of the very few guests who's been on this show twice. And George Tait, this is his second appearance on the show, but there's only literally a handful of people who have done that. So welcome back.
Well, thank you. It's fun. I always love talking to you two, so you know.
Well, we do. We
My
do
mother says the same thing. Where are you? You're at home. You're in the office. Whereabouts are you?
In the home office.
The dreaded COVID home office.
Sheila's saying that we have the best volunteers in Michigan.
Thank you, Sheila. We have supporters.
So before we go any further, Christina, we do have to ask you about today's Say Something in British. Do you have any idea what the word gubbins means?
Gubbins. Is it like a pair of shorts?
A pair of shorts. Let me just try that out. Darling, pass me my gubbins. It's rather sunny out.
I mean, it sounds like natural.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Keith would look great in gubbins.
I'd look good in a pair of gubbins, but we have to say that you are wrong. But good try. Good try.
Really good try. So we talked about the chamber before, and you know, you've been a member for many years. Tell us first of all why you are a member. Why the chamber? Any chamber.
Any chamber. Well, I mean, I could give you like the, you know, fuzzy, warm, like, you know, I do it to network, right? It is true that I did join the Troy Chamber to connect and network and support the community. But I also think that you had it right that the Troy Chamber ladies that are running the show, they are some of the best. Like Sheila said, we're the best volunteers, but they're some of the best, and they allow us to help them volunteer. So they do a really good job at the chamber. They have a lot of events. We're about to talk about what's happening tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons I became a member of the chamber was networking, definitely, but also to learn. And I think the Women's Business Forum has really highlighted that. And their mission statement, which you can probably quote, can't you, Christina?
Of course I can.
You are the chair of the Women's Business Forum. What is their mission statement?
No, let's see. Well, the Women's Business Forum, let's see if I can get this, provides an environment that fosters education, networking, and philanthropic support for women in business. And this is all to empower women to grow and succeed at all levels of their careers.
And I wouldn't say you read that at all, but that was beautiful.
Very concise. Very concise.
It's the learning aspect. And the whole point of tomorrow's event, which you saw the Troy Chamber website, is about learning. It's all about learning, and we're going to learn all sorts of things from these women.
So we need to get on to what this event is tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's called Top of Troy, and it's what's actually going
Women
on?
of Influence.
Women of Influence.
Yeah, you have to subtitle in there.
Yeah.
Look,
here we go. And these are the 4 women we're going to learn from. You can see very briefly their titles there. Anna runs Office Express. We've got from HAP as well. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh yes, bring back the picture.
Bring back. But Laurie Marshall has been with Sequoia Financial Group for yonks, years of experience there within finance, and was named a notable woman in finance from Cranes. They've all achieved so much in their. And
don't forget Lynn Drake. She's part of Compass Commercial, and she actually told us that she was one of the first women in her field when she started. So that's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's just take that down a second, because the other aspect of it, of course, as I said, is to learn. And we're going to talk in the form of a Zoom call just like this, where we can talk about how they got to where they are, what influenced them. And I think that's so important for anyone within business. How did you get there? Where have you come from? And also a plan of where you're going to. And they're going to encourage folk to talk about where they're going to, finding mentors, that sort of thing.
I think it's kind of weird from as a guy's point of view, because I actually went to the last year's Top of Troy, which Sarah was also has been moderating these for a few years now. And it's a fantastic event when you actually hear people talking about their life story and how they got to where they got. We can all learn so much from the struggles and the things people go through.
Yeah.
And some of the things like the mentors and influencers are really important as well, aren't they?
Yeah. But I think also dealing with adversity. Christina, these women have all dealt with issues. They've been around through the financial crises. And now, of course, they're coming through to dealing with COVID, the whole Zoom culture. I feel there's a lot to learn. How many do you think we'll have watching tomorrow? Do you have any ideas, or how many have been there in the past?
Well, how many in the past? We used to fill an auditorium at Troy Beaumont, remember? Now with Zoom, what is it, like 100 people that can get on? I don't think we'll get 100, but I'm hoping for 50. I mean, these women are amazing. Like all our panelists that we've always had, there's always something to learn from them. And as you say, the adversity, who doesn't have adverse situations when you are so successful in business?
Yeah, so true. So true.
And I think it's very true that the situations that affect women are different to the situations that affect men. So it's very important that we can all learn from these situations together and all become more aware of what it's like in the office, in the workspace.
So, babe, you could get out of bed tomorrow.
It looks like I'm going to be getting up early to walk the dog so Sarah can do something important.
Oh, that's perfect. Then you can come and watch us after.
Oh, I will be. Don't you worry. I will be tuning in. I will be tuning in while I'm walking the dog. I'll have it in my ears, in my iPhone, and I'll be listening to my lovely bride doing what she does.
And that's the joy about this Zoom culture, isn't it? We can zoom in wherever we are.
Oh, we haven't asked how people can get involved in the event, because we know it's tomorrow. We know it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Is that right?
Right.
It's an early morning start, folks. But how do people find out about it?
Oh, hello. Christina's gone.
No, she's not.
I
don't know who was going to answer that question.
You can go to the Troy Chamber's website, register for Top of Troy. which is probably the first event. And when you go to the events page, it's probably the first event because it's tomorrow. We also forgot to talk about how our philanthropic aspect of the Top of Troy is to donate to the Troy Chamber's nonprofit network. So part of the proceeds do go to supporting nonprofits in the Troy community.
Perfect.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Christina, for sharing
You're
all that.
a star.
I'll definitely be there seeing you tomorrow. Well, I will be there. She will have to be there because she
Certainly,
yeah, absolutely. But I think it's magic. Oh, missed that.
I said I'll see you both then.
We'll be there.
We'll both
be
be there. Don't worry.
We're going to put you into the green room for just a moment while we introduce our next guest. Oh, she's gone. Goodbye,
yes,
Christina.
well done. That's good. Yes, our next guest is a very dear friend of mine, and he is always amazing, and I can't wait to see what he's got planned for us. So please welcome the fantastic Mr. George Tait.
Yay!
Hey, everybody.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you two?
Excellent, excellent. You're looking dark and mystic, if you don't mind me saying.
Oh, well, I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you.
It
I
was
did it myself.
It was meant that way. It was meant that way. Now, listen, before you perform for us, I've got to ask you something we mentioned last time you were on the show. You've been doing a podcast, How to Kill a Piano. How's that been going? Because I know it's an ongoing project.
How to Kill a Piano is still going strong. It's a fantasy horror story that comes out once a week. We're on a 2-week break right now, but the next episode does come out this coming Monday. So if your listeners are listening, if your viewers are listening, never fear, there is another episode coming very soon. It comes out bi-weekly, a new episode. And it's all set to music. It's original music with original story that is free. You could just go listen to it at howtokillapiano.com or iTunes or Spotify or wherever it is that you like to listen to your podcasts.
Yeah, check it out, folks. I think it's one of those stories that when you start listening, oh, look, he's got it on his cup. Very clever.
We have tons of merch.
We're talking at the same time there, Mr. Day.
I was trying to plug the merch, sir, but go ahead.
I was just trying to say that when you start listening to it, you get sucked into it very quickly because it's a fascinating story. But you have some magic for us, sir.
Should we bring in our ladies? Should we bring in Christina? And there's Vijay with her mask on. She's got a mask on.
Perfect. Mine's upstairs. Actually, right now we're in my home studio, which doubles as my game room. Let me show you the game room because it's kind of cool. It's over there. That's the main feature of the game room. And I also have an overhead shot as well, just so you can see everything. But there's also a few things here that I need to run through just before we get started. One is the envelope. That'll be important. The second, it has a question mark on it. That's to intrigue you a little bit. I'll leave that there for the time being. In addition to the 15 pool balls, I also have 15 photographs. Now, my overhead camera runs a little bit slow at the moment, but that's just what we have. But there's 15 different photographs here. We'll give them a little mixie, a little cut. And Vijay, you can hear me right now. You're across the room from me. But since there are 15 photographs, I need you to select one rather than just having you pick your favorite. Let's do it randomly. Can you name a number less than 15?
7.
7. Perfect. We'll just go with whatever 7 is. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 6th one, the 7th one. That looks like the clock face there. Get a view of that. If you would have said 8, you would have gotten a little teddy bear or a Rubik's Cube. There's a giant lion. This is very meta. It's like a game within a game within a game. And there's my cat, Karina. I'm a big fan of photography as much as I am magic. But you went with the alarm clock just to keep everything fair. Let's mix it in so nobody knows quite where it is. And we're going to scatter these all over the table. Now, in that envelope, I have a particular pool ball in mind. And here's the game. This is the way we play in Detroit. We're going to break the ball so they bounce all over the table. And hopefully, the ball that I'm thinking of lands on the photograph that you're thinking of. Now, to be honest, you have no idea which one of these photographs is yours. Hopefully, yeah? True.
Go for it.
And if there's no way you can know, there's no way I can know. If you were here, I'd let you break. I'm going to break on your behalf. Here we go. A nice, solid, awful break, actually, is what that was. But, It is what it is. I'm going to get rid of the cue ball. We don't need that. Now, here's the deal. Before we get to this, since you technically broke, you get to decide, are you playing stripes or are you playing solids?
Oh, stripes or solids? That's a question for Vijay. Are you playing stripes or solids?
Solids.
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 Solids it is. Solids it is. So if you're playing solids, the idea is to sink all the solids in the game. In fact, I'm going to leave that right there just so we can get everything straight. And you said solids, so I'm going to sink all of the solids. That I got to get them all. Congratulations, you win. Easiest game of pool you'll ever play. But here's the moment of truth. Only a few of these balls went near any of the photographs. We've got a 12, we've got the 11, the 14, the 10. None of these are have anything near them. Let's figure out where the clock ended up. Hopefully, somewhere nearby. No. Oh, right there. And I would say the alarm clock is closest to the 10 ball.
I think that's fair.
That's fair.
About as random as it gets.
You see, I control people's thoughts, their decisions, and their actions for a living. And I had a few ideas that I wrote down before we started. And it says, oh, I just smeared the ink. Apparently it was still drying. The 10 ball to land near the alarm clock. Now, I did come prepared. You might say I have the handwriting of a doctor, which is very flattering since I'm just a magician. But it had to be the 10 ball, had to be the alarm clock, because you see, that's not just any clock time on it. Look really closely. Clock is set.
10 o'clock.
Yeah,
That's
very
weird.
good. Okay.
And that's how we play pool in Detroit.
That was all a bit too weird for my
wild.
That was brilliant as always, Mr. Tait. I'm still trying to work out exactly what actually happened there.
That was outrageous.
That was just
there was a 10 o'clock.
Thank you so much for coming. Do check out George Tait's website, and do check out howtokillapiano.com. And if you do it at 10 o'clock, that would be
that would be even weirder,
even more spooky.
Really spooky. So come on, Keith. What? You can't leave them hanging with the gubbins.
The gubbins. The word gubbins. Say something in British. Gubbins actually kind of.
Can I have a guess?
Oh yes.
Oh, so yeah, I forgot to ask you for a guess, George. I do apologise. Yes, please.
I didn't get to guess.
No, guess.
It sounds okay. So I'm going off of just the theme of I want to say it sounds like scraps or table scraps.
Now that's actually remarkably close.
Yeah.
The word actually originates from a fishmonger's. It was all the bits of the fish when they chopped them up, believe it or not. But it's come to mean the stuff that you use for a task.
Bits and pieces.
You say, pass me the gubbins so I can fix the car or something, which would be the tools you need. So that's the word. It's just a general
you
word.
guys
Which means,
are going to be brilliant in England when you finally go.
In fact, your task today is to use that word in a sentence.
Yeah. You can do it. But come on, we can think of some positive words, positive thoughts without the word gubbins. Christina, how about from you, darling? Have we got a positive thought before we go into this week?
I'd say, since we're on the topic of learning, there's always something new to learn. So just try to see what you can learn today, tomorrow, whatever day, every day.
I think that's very helpful, very positive. Mr. Tait, what's your positive thought for the day?
My positive thought is we're saying goodbye to a lot of things right now, which can be kind of sad. But remember, every goodbye leads to another hello somewhere else. Sometimes it's a hello to the same thing again, or hello to something completely new. So every ending has a new beginning. That's not to lose sight of that.
I like it. I like it. That's very positive.
Say hello. And Vijay, a thought before you go back and train your 4 dogs.
So I really like this, that when you focus on something good or a lot of good, the good keeps increasing.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
That's very true.
Very true.
If nothing else, you see the good. And so focusing on the good is always very helpful, isn't it? That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I like that. You know, I think the positive thought is my favourite bit of the show. It's always nice.
It gives me something to think about for the rest of the week.
For the rest of the day and the rest of the week, which is fantastic. So thank you all so much for being here. We couldn't have done it without you.
We certainly couldn't.
Well, we could. It would have just been quicker.
So thank you to George Tait,
To Christina Concord,
Vijay Joshi.
thank you so much. All it remains for us to do is say
Cheerio.